Do it.
Hello, I am Shel Silverstein. I am an author and illustrator of many books and stories, but that is just a small part of my career. I was born on September 25th, 1930. Many people and biographers believed I was born in 1932. I was born in 1932 because I did not give out my information as a writer. I grew up in the lower middle class of Logan Square in Chicago, Illinois, with my family I cared so much for. Helen and Nathan Silverstein, my parents, and Peggy Silverstein, my sister. As a child, I realized I was not athletic and girls did not like me. So at the age of 12, I began drawing. I didn't have any, so to say, inspirational people of drawing, so I had my own unique style. In my teens, I went to Roosevelt High School, and I did not enjoy it whatsoever. It was a waste of time, and I had very poor grades. Imagine, 4 years you could have spent traveling to Europe, meeting people, traveling to East Africa and India, meeting people, exchanging ideas, reading all you wanted to anyway. And instead, I wasted it at Roosevelt. I decided to longing my education, so I went to the University of Illinois, which was a regret of mine because I was later expelled from the University of Illinois because of my poor grades. I gave myself one last shot and enrolled myself in the Chicago Academy of Fine Arts, where I really learned how to draw. After one semester, I dropped out and joined the U.S. Army in 1953, where I served in the Korean War. Also, I joined the Army to become a cartoonist at Pacific Stars and Stripes, starting my career. I am very blessed to be a part of Pacific Stars and Stripes, writing for them. It was always one of my dreams. 4 years later, in 1957, I no longer worked at Pacific Stars and Stripes because I was discharged from the Army. I was not able to publish any work, and it was the biggest come down of my career. Until later that year, a producer of Playboy, Hugh Hefner, hired me to write a column. I named the column Shel Silverstein Visits, where I traveled the world writing about the cultures. I wrote 23 uncensored installments throughout my time working at Playboy through 1996. In 1964, I wrote The Giving Tree, which is my best-selling book. It's a lovely story about a tree who gives and a boy who wants, but in reality, a boy is the narcissistic taker and the tree is the enabler. My book has been called Glorification of Male and Female Selfishness, and it's dangerous due to sexism. Also, The Giving Tree has been called the low of my career because I was such a happy writer, and writing something about narcissism wasn't good for me. A year after, my editor at the time at Harper & Row, Ursula Nordstrom, encouraged me to begin writing children's books. But children's books were not a part of who I was. I wanted to give an uncensored version of my life. But I followed Ursula's advice, and in 1966, I wrote my first book, Where the Sidewalk Ends, which contains more than 100 poems and drawings done by me. In 1974, it won the Michigan Young Readers Award. After that, I had an adrenaline of power to write more books. Uncle Shelby's story of Laugh Caldo, The Lion Who Shot Back, and A Giraffe and a Half were my next two books. Very successful books, but had the intent of exploding the myths and taboos behind social and sexual taboos. In 1969, I became a songwriter. I wrote a few songs for popular artists of the time. The Unicorn Song for the Irish Rovers, cover of the Rolling Stones for Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, and A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash. A Boy Named Sue was my most famous song, but no one really knows it was written by me. In 1974, I wrote a script for the play called The Girl or the Lion, or the Girl or the Tiger Show, after the second oldest story in the world, Lady or the Tiger. It was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Song and a Golden Globe. In 1996, I published one of my last books, Falling Up. It contains 144 drawings and pictures done by me. Although it was not released until after my death. And 3 years later, May 10th, 1999, I abruptly died of a heart attack in Key West, Florida, where I rest today. Thank you for letting me share my life with you.